And today, guys, on this video, we're checking out a video from Marvelous Videos called Top 10 Super Vehicle TV Shows and Movies from the 80s. My era. And you know what? I will be right back. So we back, and look who I got with me today. Monster, this is you and us, buddy. This is from our era, so you should be here. I might not put the green screen on because it might cut out your nose and everything like that. But yeah, man, let's check this out. We're gonna watch some stuff from our era, Monster. Like I said before, this is link in the description down below for the original channel. I will chop out the last part, so if you want to see what number the top part, the one video or so, you're going to have to just go to the channel and below. But being that me and Monster, you can't see him, okay, there you go. Me and Monster are children of the 80s, so this is going to be right up our alley. But let's do this. Here we go. Now. Hey, look, Michael Knight. Kid. I remember that episode. The Hoff.
Top 10 super vehicle TV shows and movies from the 80s. Super vehicle shows and movies caught the fancy of audiences in the 80s. Suddenly, there was a flurry of such content where a fancy supercar was used by the protagonist to fight crime.
Yep.
It could be anything from a car, to a motorcycle, to a jet, or even a boat. The idea was to construct a storyline that highlights the brilliance of the vehicle, the cool features, the combat facilities, the speed, and the incredible designs captivated the minds of viewers. Such content had a stereotype as well, though. These super vehicles were usually operated by the righteous and heroic protagonist. They had a sidekick who, more often than not, would be the comic relief from the serious tones of the story. The crazy technology explored through these vehicles became the selling point for these movies and shows. We have put together some of the finest shows and movies made during the 80s that centered around such super vehicles. It is to be noted that in this list, we have not included movies like James Bond, like the A-Team, which have some awe-inspiring vehicles, but we have chosen to leave them out because the story does not revolve around the vehicles, and it is only a minuscule part of the story. Before we go into our list, we have a very small request. Can you please support us by subscribing to the channel and clicking the bell icon up in the corner so you get notifications? This is a small click from you, but means a lot to us. Thank you, and let's get into the list.
That's Kit. Knight Rider.
Knight Rider, 1982. Knight Rider is more about the indestructible supercar than anything else. It tells the story of an officer, Michael Knight, who was
wrong. His name's Michael Long. First, get it right. Sorry.
Look, and even assumed a new identity. Now, his mission is fighting crime and bringing the wrongdoers to justice. The supercar Kit is his only weapon against these criminals. But one look at Kit would tell you that it is enough arsenal to take on an army.
That was Car.
Knight Rider can be said to be the pioneer in super vehicles becoming a craze among the masses. The iconic Kit was not just any super vehicle, but was akin to a transformer. It had features to blow your mind, such as the out-of-this-world digital dashboard, the turbo, and the sleek design that made it the coolest vehicle you could imagine.
It was a cool Trans Am, that's it.
Stunned the audiences in the role of the crime-fighting officer. For 4 seasons, this spectacular show entertained the audiences with its adventure-packed episodes. The attempts to revive the show in the 90s never worked, but the original series is a gem you would not want to miss out.
That's the Wraith. Oh yeah. I only saw this once.
Around a small desert town where a gang of drag racers wreak havoc. They forcibly challenge people to drag race with them and win over their cars. The head of this gang murders an innocent young man. Suddenly, here comes a savior to town. The mysterious character is not only a capable biker, but also a fine racer with his specially designed car. He helps the town get rid of the troublesome gang with his skills.
Remember
This
this?
is a perfect popcorn entertainer with a well-written script. Actors like Charlie Sheen, Nick Cassavetes, and Cheryl Fenn exhibit fine acting performances. One of the best things about this movie is the catchy 80's rock music that's been used. The story entertains and the vehicle stunts are mind-numbing. There is some violence involved, and some might be prompted to call a few moments of this movie cheesy. But all in all, this movie brings back the fond memories of 80's classics and packs enough entertainment to make for a great watch. Street Hawk, 1985.
I don't remember Street Hawk. I heard of it, never seen it. You seen it, Monster?
Being able to shoot rockets
Okay.
and machine guns. That is precisely what you have in this incredible show.
He is always playing a bad guy. That dude, I just saw him.
As well. The plot is centered around a motorcycle cop who is injured in the line of duty. He is then recruited for a secret government program, and he now has a secret identity. By the day, he's doing
He makes that sound so...
During the nights, he is out fighting crime on his super motorcycle. The high-quality production values ensure that the motorcycle appeal to the masses with its main features. The show was blessed by some remarkable music, and the story was just ideal for the backdrop. Rex Smith is perfectly suited for a role of the protagonist, and he is ably supported by actors like Richard Venture, Joe Rigobudo, and others. It will take you on a journey into the nostalgia of the 80s.
Was that Christopher Lloyd I just saw?
That will keep you engaged. I'm waiting, hotshot. Let's go.
I know that. That's Airwolf. This is Airwolf. Yep. Right?
Airwolf.
Yep.
1983.
This is Airwolf right here.
Airwolf revolves around an ex-Vietnam War pilot, Stringfellow Hawk. He is haunted by the tragedy of his missing brother. When the government assigns him to steal Airwolf, beast of a helicopter, from its creator, he does so, but keeps it for himself. He now helps out the government by using this flying beast to take part in secret missions assigned to him by the government. In return, the government provides him with information about his brother. Airwolf is a mean flying machine that steals the show. It had
a badass theme too, I remember.
Machine guns, and it is fast as hell. The well-knitted plots and the suspense-packed scenarios provided with great entertainment in this show. The sound effects were brilliant, adding to the appeal. The music used was perfect, and the show was blessed by some great acting performances. Like Jan Michael Vincent in particular, was mesmerizing as the protagonist. He had a good support from the likes of Alex Cord and Ernest Borgnine, not to mention many other quality actors. The aerial sequences are sure to give you goosebumps. Overall, this is one show you will remember for times to come.
I remember Airwolf, big time.
Tell me, why did you call me Automan? It means that you're the world's first truly automatic man. You can do anything.
You liked this show, didn't you?
You're not real. Automan, 1983.
Yeah, see, you liked this, Monster. This was your
Automan
show.
might seem a little bizarre, but then, by all means, you would be watching it for the entertainment and all the cool stuff. It tells the story of a computer expert in the police department who creates a computer-generated superhero. They join forces and fight...
Stuff like this would not get away now.
Cursor is a floating droid, and it can help create any object that the superhero needs. The duo of Chuck Wagner and Desi Arnaz Jr. deliver the goods when it comes to the acting department. This show is well written as far as the subtle humor is considered. Moments where the superhero is struck with some trivial human problems.
Rest in peace. I just saw,
charming superhero
forgetting his name.
And the lovable characters almost take your mind off the improbable storyline. The dazzling special effects lift the standards of the show
See,
further.
this is up your alley. You like this stuff right here.
Genre.
Flight of the... Yeah, seen this
When
once.
a 12-year-old boy falls in a ditch and goes missing, he he somehow travels into the future. After 8 years when he is back, he hasn't even aged. He also has the undiscovered knowledge of the universe and amazing navigational powers. And oh yeah, he also has an incredible flying machine that can take him anywhere he wants. For a movie made in the 80s, Flight of the Navigator has impressive special effects. With the innovative storyline and the exceptional cinematography, this is a movie you can enjoy with your family. Paul Rubens, Joey Kramer, Cliff DeYoung, and so on do a decent job with the acting in this movie. The direction of Randall Kessler also deserves praise. Back in the day, not many movies explored the territory of time travel and space travel. But this one does so in style. The Highwayman, 1987. The story of the show followed the footsteps of many of its predecessors who were making content involving supercars. The Highwayman is simply the crime
I ain't never seen this one.
the highways in his high-tech super truck.
Yo,
The show is set
that truck looks like
where the federals are the determiners of right and wrong.
Rodimus Prime.
The Highwayman eliminates crime with his beast of a vehicle. As far as super vehicles go, the one shown in this show is truly outstanding. It is an 18-wheeler truck that is heavily armed. To add to the charm, the truck also has a cab that can turn into a helicopter. Sam J. Jones is appropriate in the role of the handyman. Other actors in the show do not disappoint either. The show is so entertaining that you would not let yourself be bothered by the outdated special effects that were used. If you are up for the sci-fi show involving super vehicles, go for it.
Look out!
Blue Thunder, 1983. Blue Thunder is an attack helicopter that is highly modified with modern weapons and stealth systems. The protagonist, Frank Murphy, is a Vietnam veteran and is tasked with piloting this incredible flying machine. When a prominent political figure dies,
Hey,
he takes
Ron
on an
Schneider.
investigation only to unravel a sinister plot. Blue Thunder was to be used to assassinate important political figures, and the mastermind is an evil colonel from the Vietnam War. Murphy has a history with the colonel, and it is time to settle scores. The acting department is taken care of by the likes of Roy Schneider, Andy Clark, Warren Oates, Malcolm McDowell, and many others.
Malcolm
There are
McDowell,
some
another
unforgettable moments in the movie,
guy
such as
who
the
always
times
is
of
playing
aerial
like
combat
villains.
above Los Angeles. The movie was crafted carefully to cater to those looking for a perfect storyline. There were lovable characters, unbelievable stunts,
see this
and
before?
above all, a cool helicopter with amazing gadgets.
Was it good?
A must-watch for any super...
I did it right there, so we stopped it right there, guys. On there are two more videos ahead of the list. I think you may enjoy them if you didn't. I stopped it at the number 3 instead of number 2, and usually I'll leave the last part out. First of all, Monster, it was good to have you back. I know probably fans wanted to see you again, so you know, give them a hand, wave on, dude. It was good to have my fellow 80s brother with me. You know, you gotta remember, a lot of these movies and shows from the 80s are still watchable. I mean, I have all of, no, I don't have all of Knight Rider on complete sets. I'm missing season 4, but I have season 1, 2, and 3. I love Knight Rider. I still love it to this day. To this day, that music is still just banging. Like, it became so popular that you got rappers using that theme. One that comes to mind is Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes used it, which is that is a good. I was into Airwolf, and a lot of these movies I did see maybe once or twice, but definitely Airwolf and Knight Rider I watched a lot of. Knight Rider I still watch today. That's where, you know, most of us got our love for David Hasselhoff. Some of us, especially children of the 80s, yeah. Most people will say, well, I got my love for David Hasselhoff from Baywatch. That's still 80s. It's late 80s, but more of a 90s show. And like I said, you know, the one thing about a lot of these shows is the main protagonist is either he's an ex-soldier from Vietnam. You got to remember the time that these movies or shows are taking place. so you can understand why they are, you know, Vietnam vets or something like that. But this was a good list. I really enjoyed it. I love the narration from the dude. He did a really good job of narrating it. But a lot of these shows, you know, just some were fun, some were one and done that probably couldn't get away with doing again. For example, what was the one? Street Hawk. That could never be done today without, because it's like, okay, you got a souped up motorcycle. Okay, what's stopping somebody from just dropping a bomb on you? You know, it's different with Kit, because they explained to Kit what Kit can. Kit was basically a tank in a Trans Am design, and when they did showcase like Kit can be hurt, and the times that Kit did get hurt or get nearly destroyed, it was like those key episodes are like, oh shoot, Kit's hurt, like when they brought in Carr, who was like the prototype before Kit. Remember, if you fellow 80's fans, y'all know Kit was not the first. There was another called Carr, and he was different from Kit. Like he didn't preserve life. He was all about self-preservation. Also voiced by Peter Cullen. Optimus Prime did his voice, so he was. I remember there was he had these two guys who were like homeless, and they were down in their luck, but when Carr would help them, they started getting rich, and he's like, I'm never going back to the slumber, all this other stuff. Like, it was crazy. And then Carr came back twice, and then there was another episode. Then there was another character from Knight Rider, the character that Michael Knight, David Hasselhoff, got his face from, because in the beginning he said he was an ex-cop. Yes, he was an ex-cop, but his name was not Michael Knight. It was Michael Long, and then they changed his face into the founder of the Foundation of Long Government. Wilton Knight had a son called, I forgot what his son name was, but that was his face. So they gave him that face, and then there was another. Then there was an episode where Wilton Knight's sons came back, and so David Hasselhoff played two characters, and you could tell who was the bad guy because he had the mustache, like the mustache, and he had a big semi truck called Goliath, and all it was a big semi with and it just would plow through Kit until Kit got more. They upgraded Kit later on. But yeah, Knight Rider is still my show. I'll watch that anytime I'm in the mood to watch it. I do watch it a lot during Halloween, for the Halloween episodes, Christmas during the Christmas episode, things like that. Airwolf I don't watch that much anymore. I do have a site where I can go to watch it. I just don't watch it as much. But a lot of these other shows and movies, were one and done. Some of them probably could never get done again, especially like the what the hell is that one called? Automan. That would never get done again. But other than that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Monster, thank you for being here, buddy. I'm sure they all enjoyed having you here. I didn't put up the green screen. Well, the green screen is up probably, but I didn't use it because I realized if I used it, it may cut out Monster's nose, his green nose. So it probably messed the green screen up. But if you guys enjoyed Monster being here, leave your comments in the section down below. I try to find time to get him in videos as much, especially when it has something to do with the 80s. Because he's a fellow child of the 80s like me, right? So yeah. So wave, Monster, go give him a wave. Come on, wave, please. Wave. There you go. Good boy. Other than that, guys, you guys take care. Deuces.